Hey, this is Dr. Paul. Welcome to Chiropractic Personal Injury Marketing, and we are getting ready to do the largest personal injury attorney referral marketing program that's ever been done in the world. Let me share with you what that is. I've had tremendous success with my personal injury attorney educational sales system. Matter of fact, last year we did 7 presentations only to about 110 attorneys. We signed up 98% of those attorneys to refer their clients, creating over $20 million in referrals. Now, individually, we have several clients that take that presentation and go to attorneys themselves and do it and increase their business $500,000, $750,000, $1 million a year, because that's where the majority of the business is at the attorney's office. And there's good news and bad news about that. The good news is there's a tremendous amount of business there. The bad news is the 75% of the attorneys don't use chiropractors. Not that there's not a potential need. Matter of fact, there is a need for the patient. 87% of all auto injuries have soft tissue injuries. Only 32% have a disc injury. So easily 2/3 of these cases are very uniquely qualified for the chiropractor, not the orthopedist or the neurologist. But they're not looking for chiropractors. Now, what does that mean from a marketing standpoint? Well, the bad news is publicity and advertising doesn't work. In other words, when you're not looking for a product or service, it doesn't matter what advertising you see, you're not going to buy it. But what works really well is what's called educational sales. And what that involves is helps to establish need. Essentially what happens, it's a transformation of taking your target market, in this case, personal injury attorneys, and taking them from a state of unconscious incompetence, where they don't even know what they don't know, to conscious incompetence. Now they know what they don't know, and you're the solution to the problem. And that's exactly why it works so well. And we have tremendous success with the doctors I've trained when I've done the presentations live. Well, here's what we're doing now, is we're live streaming it. Everybody's gotten so comfortable with online video because of all the COVID things that it's actually been a tremendous asset. So what we're doing is we're live streaming. I'm doing the presentation live streaming, and it's going to all of our offices. All of my clients are setting up presentations throughout the nation, and they're inviting all the attorneys that they want to create referrals from. So we have hundreds of attorneys in multiple locations throughout the United States for this live presentation. And essentially, I do the selling, just like when I was live at the seminar. So I carry the majority of the weight. I just have to have the chiropractors that can follow up with the business that I create, with the referrals I create. And that's the Car Injury Doctors Network. And so we teach our doctors the documentation that is required to stop lowball offers and win policy limit awards. And that's exactly how it goes. So we do the educational sales presentation. I do it, it's beamed through my clients. My clients organize and we market to get the attorneys to that meeting. And there's very specific methods to get the attorneys to a meeting. We get them to the meeting. I'm beamed in, live streaming, so I do all the selling. The doctors do the follow-up, and they get all the credit. In other words, they're the local car injury doctor network provider that can do everything that I just taught the attorneys. That's how it works. So it's tremendous. And it's throughout the nation now. And we're getting ready to start it. Matter of fact, it's starting tomorrow. And we not only do it every 3 months to reinforce and build the returning base, but we follow it up with live streaming, 30 minutes of live streaming around lunch every week. And that reinforces the purpose and reason of why they need you, the chiropractor, to stop lowball offers and win policy limit awards. It's all automated, and they can come in live and ask questions live about their cases, problems they're having with their cases, and we'll solve the problems for them if it's a referring attorney. So there's tremendous benefit. Now that's a video newsletter. That's a live video newsletter. So that goes out to all my chiropractic clients, all of their attorneys that they're not only presently working with to maintain and support that business, but all the attorneys in their county that they want to win over their referrals. So huge. So every quarter there's the live presentation, and then every week I'm basically reinforcing and reselling and making it bigger, making that group of referring attorneys just get bigger and bigger and bigger for the local car injury doctor network. So I carry all the weight. I do all the selling. I just need providers. I need chiropractic providers to process the business that I create. And it's a checklist. So all you have to do is learn the checklist and make sure you follow that checklist, number one, because we can't tell the attorneys we're going to do something and not do it. So we have to make sure all the documentation in the checklist is done, number one. Number two, it has to be put into our 12-step narrative format. That narrative format, when you take that documentation and you put it in our 12-step narrative report format, that's what stops lowball offers and win policy limit awards. That's exactly how it works. Again, I'm Dr. Paul. I've opened 77 offices in 20 states. Over 600,000 patient visits a year, $60 million a year is what we did in business. I've never had one attorney ask me for me to refer them a client and then they will refer me one. Never. That never happens once the attorneys understand how it works. Now, when the attorneys don't understand how it works, that's the kind of stuff that commonly happens. And that's from a position of weakness, not strength. And I've never had an attorney ask me to cut my bill. Never. That has been educated in this system. You don't have your bill cut. You don't have them ask you to cut your bill. You don't have them send you one. You send them one, they send you one. All that's crap. It gets to be from a position of strength where we shift their consciousness from unconscious incompetence, things they don't even know, to the realization that they cannot process cases without that formula, with a doctor in their area using that documentation system to process their cases, or they're going to lose a lot of money. And that's what happens. That's what our presentation does. So if you're interested, give me a call. This is the biggest personal injury. And it's not just once, every 3 months we do it. And then every week it's reinforced to your existing attorneys, new attorneys, marketing to new attorneys, and just keep building that referral base larger and larger. And this is how we commonly have clients increase their business over $1 million a year within 1 year. That's exactly what happens. So if you're interested in the personal injury attorney referral system I just was referring to, give me a call. You can check out the website at chiropracticpersonalinjurymarketing.com, chiropracticpersonalinjurymarketing.com, or you can call me for details specifically about this program, because the personal injury, the vast majority of the cases are from the personal injury attorney. They're not from Facebook. They're not from the local newspaper. They're not from Google. You can get a few here and there from Facebook and Google, those kinds of things. That's not where you're going to increase your business $250,000 or $1 million though. But you will with personal injury attorney referrals. And there's tremendous amount of business because 87% of the car injuries have soft tissue injuries. Over 75% of the attorneys do not even refer to chiropractors. Again, not because not because the person doesn't have a chiropractic problem. It's because the attorney is in a state of unconscious incompetence. He just doesn't know what he doesn't know and how much it's hurting his case. And that's why they commonly get low ball offers. We stop that. When you know how to stop attorneys from getting low ball offers, you get the referrals. And that's exactly what this presentation and my documentation system does. Give me a call, 813-480-1693. Getting ready to kick it off. 3 times a year, weekly live streaming, personal injury attorney referrals to take your business past $250,000, $1 million a year. I do the legwork. You just have to make sure you do follow the checklist of documentation, put that documentation in the 12-step narrative format. That's what you got to do. I do the hard stuff. Give me a call. I'm Dr. Paul.